They say he died as a boy, but he keeps coming back.
You're listening to Scotty and Andrew, and this is Fun with Horror.
Hello, friends. This is Scotty.
And I'm Stanley.
And welcome to episode number 177 of Fun with Horror. This is the most wholesome horror movie podcast in the entire world. This is the podcast in which usually two long-distance best friends stay in touch by giving each other horror movies to watch and discuss. However, today, this is the horror movie podcast in which two friends in driving distance from each other stay in touch by getting together on Friday the 13th of every year and discussing another Friday the 13th movie. Hi, Stanley.
Hello. That was a mouthful. You said it without stumbling. I was watching you the whole time, and I was like, yes, you did it. I don't know what I was expecting. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I missed you.
I missed you as well. It's good to see you.
It's been so long.
It has. I think the last time I saw your face was the last time we talked about a Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah.
Which was Friday the 13th Part 6.
There you go. We're going in order.
Yeah, we are. It's true.
So for anybody who doesn't know, this is their first episode of Fun with Horror, Stanley is a dear friend.
It's true.
He started out as a constant replier on my Twitter. Then I found out he had a nice little YouTube show called Stanny Boy Reviews.
Yes.
And I enjoyed the way he talked about horror movies so much that I invited Stanley to be our very first guest host. And what movie did we do? Do you remember?
The first one was Tenebrae.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is a crazy first choice, but looking back, I'm so glad we did that movie.
That's a good movie, man. It was a fun one. I haven't watched it probably since the first time we talked about it. But it's not my favorite Argento movie, but it's a good movie, and I will always think of you because of that film.
Same.
So there we go.
Wait, I almost bought a Tenebrae shirt, but they were out of my size.
I would probably buy a shirt related to it as well. It's got amazing imagery.
It's mainly just because of you.
Well,
it's just sentimental value now.
There it is. And for those who have never heard an episode of us talking before, we have a photo of you in our bedroom. So everyone should know that. You're the first face we see every morning. With Melissa Barrera and Alex.
Among other things.
Yes.
Yes. Other wholesome things that happen.
Many other
that
wholesome things, yes. With Nev Campbell and my dad dachshund.
Aw. Okay. Well, that.
Yay.
How are you, buddy?
I'm fine. Doing okay.
Stanley, you also are one of the hosts of the Gory Gaze podcast.
Yes.
Now, here's something. You guys have taken hiatuses before.
We like that. We like to come back for like a hot month. You know, like we do like an episode every week for a month, and we'll drop like 2 Patreon episodes in that same month, and then we're like, all right, by the way, see you next winter. It's very strange how we do it, but there are reasons, like the last time we did this, it was because Alex's schedule was so hectic. He was working overnight shifts and our schedules just did not compute. It was terrible. And that's no longer the case. We're just, in a transitioning phase as far as trying to figure out, more scheduling things. But it's just funny. It's funny how fast time goes by and like priorities just kind of shift. And yeah, it's interesting.
Now, last time I saw a post by you, you said that Gory Gaze was on a permanent hiatus. Now, that means done for good.
Yeah, I would say for the time being. You know what I mean?
That's
'Cause
not permanent, Stanley.
I know I'm a Gemini. I can never make up my mind. And I'm the one that like kind of gives myself control over, all these decisions because it's, a lot of decisions. But I change my mind all the time. And, Alex doesn't care at the end of the day. Like I could be like, hey, do you want to record a podcast episode? And he'd be like, okay. Like he's not ever going to say no. So really, it's just up to me. So I guess it's whenever I decide the hiatus is over. So
it's an indefinite hiatus.
is that the word?
Yes, it's not permanent for sure.
Okay, just remember that I recently learned that it's not subsequently, it's subsequently.
Okay, there you go. Yes.
It's not blatantly, it's blatantly. I'm learning here.
I am expecting you to use subsequently somewhere in this episode.
I may have to.
So, with that said, Stanley, shall we talk about Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood?
The New Blood. What an interesting subtitle.
Dr. Cruz, you really think that we're doing the right thing, don't you?
Well, we've done all we can do for her at the hospital, and she just hasn't made enough progress. I know it's tough on both of you to come back here, but trust me, we'll do the best we can.
Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, was released on May 13th, 1988. It was directed by John Carl Buechler, and it was written by Daryl Haney and Manuel Fidelo. It stars many people, but here we go. It stars Lar Park Lincoln as Tina, Kane Hodder as Jason, his very first outing as Jason, Terry Kaiser as Dr. Cruz, Susan Blue as Mrs. Shepard, Kevin Spiritus as Kevin Blair, as Nick, Jeff Bennett as Eddie, William Butler as Michael, Stacy Greason as Jane, Elizabeth Caton as Robin, Larry Cox as Russell, Heidi Kozak Haddad as Sandra, Susan Jennifer Sullivan as Melissa, Diana Barrows as Maddie, Michael Schroeder as Dan, Deborah Kessler as Judy, Craig Thomas as Ben, Diane Almeida as Kate. Almeida, did I say that right?
I
Does that
have
sound
no
good?
idea. Your guess is as good as mine.
John Renfield as David. I mean, I just put in everybody, basically.
You know what? But I feel like every person has at least a couple lines.
I think so too, and they all die.
They all die. Yeah.
Hey. So before we get into this, Stanley, let's say what we think of this movie without spoiling it for everybody. So, Stanley, without spoilers, what did you think of Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood?
Well, I always said that this was my favorite out of the whole bunch. Like I always said it was this one and Jason Goes to Hell. And after my most recent viewing experience, I just don't know anymore.
Oh no.
It's interesting. I watched it twice, and the last time I watched it, I was just like, ugh. And I'm not sure what, and we'll talk about it, but it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, like, and it's nothing like on like the actors necessarily. There's just like I feel like there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen type of thing, and I feel like there's just like a lot. There's a lot happening. I feel like there's a lot happening. And just, I mean, going back to the cast list, there's 45 million people in this movie. And it's really hard to, it's really hard to narrow it down at the end of the day. But that being said, I do really like the special effects that we do get. And I do really like a few things. There are a few things that I really do like and remember. I think a lot of the things I loved about it growing up, and I even went back and watched my Standing Row review on this because this was one of the ones I did back in the day. And there were a lot of things I praised about it. I just remember really, really watching this a lot when I was a kid. So I think that the nostalgia factor is what I really loved about it. And now as an adult, it's just like, and especially watching them in order, it's not as good as the last one for sure. Like it's just not. But it's not as bad as the next one.
So you say.
So I say. But yeah, it's fine. To answer your question,
If you had to give this movie a star rating out of 5 stars, what would you give it?
I would give it a 3.
A 3. Okay, good.
A 3, a solid 3, because it's still, I will watch it from beginning to end. It's very entertaining. And I love the Carrie versus Jason stuff. Like there's a lot that I like, and but now I kind of feel like it's one of those like, haha, like I'm laughing a lot. I'm pointing at things, like it's like the Rocky Horror stuff. Like I'm like throwing rice at the screen, and I'm like, it's one of those. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, that's up to us to decide, maybe.
But it is still a go-to. Like, it's definitely still a go-to in the series. I watch this one more than I watch a lot of them.
Well, you will be surprised to learn, Stanley, that I just checked my Letterboxd. I gave this 3.5 stars.
Yes.
I guess I really enjoyed this movie.
I originally gave it 3.5 stabs on
Oh,
Stab-O-Meter.
stabs,
So
stabs.
yeah. Today I would give it 3. You know, like there was a few things that kind of just took me out of it this time, and I don't know. I think it was the mom.
I think for me, I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to.
Sure, like I said, it's entertaining.
There's some kind of Stockholm syndrome that's been happening with these movies
Yes.
when you and I watch them, because I know they're not great. I know there's so many issues with them, but watching them multiple times each time we do an episode on one of these movies, I start to just kind of enjoy it. But I think I have the same problems with this that I had with the last movie, which we'll get into. We'll get into it.
I did appreciate the montage at the beginning, because I don't know if it was the last one. I don't know if the last one or the one before it had it.
I think it did, but
maybe but yeah, I don't remember. But it made me miss watching the other ones. Like I wanted to watch part 2 because it had the wheelchair with the machete and the face death. Like it did make me want to watch the previous ones, which I admired.
Well, we'll get into that. But now, everybody, it's time for our spoiler warning, which will be followed immediately by our trigger warnings. So if you haven't seen this movie and you don't want a single thing spoiled for you, this is the point of no return. Feel free to pause this episode and come back after you've watched the movie. But before we talk about the rest of the movie, we want to let you know of any major trigger warnings, which is inspired by the website doesthedogdie.com. Nearly every horror movie inherently has triggers, but there are some that we would want to know about before watching a movie, and we're here to let you know about those. So,
very nice of you.
Let's get into this. Stanley, are there any animals in this movie?
So look, no animals die in this film.
Okay. Wow, I hadn't even asked you yet.
Oh, sorry. There's a cat.
Oh, hey, Stanley, does the cat die?
No, the cat doesn't die. I just wanted to follow up, but that there is some sort of creature that the mother is wearing on her head the entire film. Like I don't know what that is, but it's just 80s, her. It's just her
80s hair. It's 80s hair.
I can't.
All right. Well, so what that means, Stanley, is that now it's time for the 3-minute recap.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
So get nervous because I am going to take out my lucky virtual orange 20-sided die.
I thought you were going to say you were going to take out your nipple ring.
No, that's later. But for now, it's just the 20-sided die.
Okay,
and I'm going to start rolling it. And when you tell me to stop, if it lands on an odd number, you're going to do the 3-minute recap. If it lands on even, I'm going to do the 3-minute recap.
Terrific.
So you just tell me anytime when you want me to stop it.
You can stop it now.
The number is 1. That means, Stanley, you get to do it.
Oh, my God. I honestly think I've done the 3-minute recap for every one of these films. Wait,
maybe.
No, except the one I was absent for. I was absent for one of these. Okay.
That's fair.
All right.
And Brian from Chuddle the Pod did the shortest 3-minute recap in the world. So.
Oh, he did. He did the Willy Wonka monologue, where he turns around and he goes, Charlie.
Did he? Did
Yeah,
he?
no,
No,
he
he just
literally-
did a
just
really
says Ja-
fast, like
Jason
2
kills
minute.
him.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, Stanley, you should know that Terry Kaiser and I have been talking. Terry Kaiser, who plays Dr. Cruz.
Oh, I know.
He and I have been talking, and if you don't come in under 3 minutes, he said he's going to take you to a cabin out in the woods next to a lake. Maybe not Crystal Lake, but, next to a lake.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to give you free therapy.
Oh, gosh.
But of course, the therapy will be in hopes that you develop some kind of mental psych whatever abilities, psi abilities.
He wants to exploit me.
Yeah, but no, of course
Mm.
not. Of
Mhm.
course not.
Of
Dr.
course
Cruz
not.
is on the up and up.
He's a good guy.
So, Stanley,
We love
you
him.
start whenever you feel like it.
All right. Okay.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of heat time.
Okay, Friday the 13th, part 7, because we are on the 7th, Friday the 13th, opens with a young girl named Tina who witnesses her mother being abused by her father, and they are in a cabin on Crystal Lake. And she goes into a boat and goes into the lake, and her father chases her out. And we find out very quickly that she has some sort of psychic ability, but it's like a telekinesis, but it's before telekinesis, so we don't know that it's telekinesis. And her anger manifests and results in this dock that her father is standing on to crumble beneath him, and he falls into the lake and dies. In the lake as well is Jason, because that's where Jason was chained and dragged to the bottom in the last movie, and that's where he has been this whole time. So flash forward, some odd years later, Tina is now a teenager, and she is brought back to the lake to deal with her trauma and her grief by her doctor, Dr. Cruz, who is apparently going to give me therapy as well. And her mom is also there, and her mom has not aged a day since this whole thing happened 10 or 12 years ago or whatever. They're there to figure things out for Tina, who is just mentally unstable at this point, or so they say. She's been in a mental hospital this whole time, and he has a video camera, and he's trying to piss her off basically, so she will use her telekinetic powers to move like matchboxes. And at the same time, he's like gaslighting her, and he's setting her up to find things around the house that aren't there, and it kind of like making her see things and stuff, but whatever. Anyway, so there's also a house next door on the lake that is hosting a birthday party, and it's for some guy named Michael, and there are a whole bunch of people there, all 27 people that Scotty had listed. And there is a guy named Nick who is there, and he is the cousin of the guy whose the birthday party is being thrown for. And he and Tina hit it off very quickly, but everybody already knows that Tina is from the mental asylum, so they all like make fun of her all the time. And Tina and Nick spend a lot of time together, and Dr. Cruz is still trying to exploit Tina a lot more. Oh, and then Tina goes to the lake at night, and while she's all upset because Dr. Cruz has made her mad, and she uses her telekinesis to what she thinks bring back her father, but it actually brings Jason back. And then everybody thinks she's crazy because, why would a dead murderer be rising from the lake? And of course, he goes and starts murdering everybody. And this is scary Jason with like his spine exposed and stuff. And he has maggots falling out of his face. And it's pretty effed up. Yeah. So eventually all these teenagers who are actually 30 all start dying in really horrific ways, but it's edited. So don't worry. Eventually, Tina and Jason have a face-off, and we get to see her use her telekinetic abilities, rather, to fight off Jason. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of really cool special effects. Nick kind of joins in every now and then, but he's more of a girl than she is, and he kind of doesn't really do much. What else? Everybody basically dies except Tina and Nick, and there's like a big moment where Jason is set on fire by Tina's telekinetic powers. And then, of course, he ends up in the lake because that's where he always ends up. But this time he's dragged into the lake by Tina's father, who is resurrected by her telekinetic ability. And then he's That's the end of that part. And then Nick and Tina are put into an ambulance, and that's the end. They're just taken away, and that's the end of Friday the 13th Part 7, which was originally titled Birthday Bash.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The
okay,
end.
so you came in just under 3 minutes, by the way.
Oh my goodness, I hope so.
That was amazing.
That was the best 3-minute recap I've ever done. Edit nothing.
I will edit nothing.
You can't. I won't let you. I'm on my way there right now to make sure you don't.
But speaking of editing, Andrew is going to send in, he hasn't sent it in yet, but he is going to send in you know what? Hang on. Alexa, turn off Godzilla. Oh, I hated that light. That was terrible. Andrew is going to send in this recording of what he thought of, I'm just tripping over my words, Stanley.
I'm just listening.
As I was saying, Andrew is going to send in a recording of what he thought of Friday the 13th, Part 7.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
Let's hear right now what he thought of it.
Friday the 13th Part 7 is a whole lot of fun. There is so much 80s cheese in this movie, and I love it dearly. I love the character Tina. I think it's great to have... we live in this universe, or Jason lives in this universe, where he's got powers. He comes back to life many a time. Why not have other people with powers? I think it's awesome. I think it's a great idea to have someone with powers go against Jason, and makes it pretty fun and unique for this movie. I love that at the beginning she tries to essentially resurrect her dad from the lake and resurrects Jason. I'm like, that's fantastic. What a great way to bring Jason back. But I do love the ending where they're fighting each other, and of course she has her dad essentially resurrected and pull Jason back down. I think that's a great moment, a great shot. I do love that part. So I think that's pretty cool. Overall, this is a fun movie. I don't know where I'd rank it. It's definitely higher up, though, I think, on my Friday the 13th ranks, because it's just a fun time. And again, I love the 80s cheese. I love the ridiculousness. I love it all. So, yeah, good times. Have fun, guys. Love you both. Bye.
Okay, well, we have no idea what he thought of it because he hasn't sent in the recording yet, but knowing Andrew, it was incredible.
I'm sure it was.
So that's Andrew. Stanley, let's talk about this movie a little bit. We usually start by talking about some quibbles we have with the movie.
Yes.
What kind of quibbles might you have about The New Blood?
So my quibbles are mostly the editing and the music.
The music, really?
The music. And I don't know if if this is the first time I've ever noticed it, but the music, is there a restoration or something that happened on the last Blu-ray box set that came out? Because
do you know about the music in this movie? Do you know about the score?
I know that it was recycled music from the previous composer who does all the rest of the, what's his name? Harry Manfredini. Harry Manfredini. Then Fred Mullen came in to do the rest of it, to compose the rest.
Yes.
But something about the last few times I watched it, I'm not sure, we have surround sound, maybe that was it. It just seemed very aggressive. I felt like there were parts that just did not add up. It just seemed very out of sync. And there were, I checked my iPad, I checked my laptop to see if something was playing. I had to check to see if the menu screen was playing at the same time, because there were just moments that didn't add up. And I was confused, and I thought I was watching something that, how Nosferatu from the 20s always gets restored with a different backtrack, there's some sort of different. Yeah. That's what I felt like I was watching. You'd get a jump scare, that's something that's supposed to be some sort of jump scare for whatever this series considers a jump scare. It'd be silent, and then there'd be something else happening later music wise.
Not to get all super tech geeky with you, but did you switch the audio track on the Blu-ray to 2-channel?
No.
Because you can do that if the 5.1 isn't sounding great.
I know nothing about any of that.
See, I had it on 5.1 and it sounded fine over here, so...
Well, I'm going to test this out when this is over and see if that makes a difference. So I won't say anything else about the music in that case, because maybe I...
But that's okay. No, that is okay. the question is, do you ever experience anything like that on other movies with your surround sound?
Not really, but I don't know
Okay.
if I actually really pay that much attention. The only thing I've really started paying attention to recently, because we've been watching a lot of World War II movies, like old World War II movies.
Yes.
And that's what I've been like, oh, turn the surround sound on, because that's made a big difference in just what I'm listening to.
Well, all this means is that I have to drive up to Bakersfield to see you and to make sure your sound system and TV are up to standards.
And you'll see our little TV and be like, what do I do with this?
I've seen it, and it's so cozy looking.
It is. It's a little cozy thing.
So
You're welcome anytime.
I noticed that about the music too. I didn't know that Fred Mullen was part of it, which explains why he did the score to Jason Takes Manhattan.
So does he do the full score to Jason Takes Manhattan?
As far as I know, yes.
Manfredini sits out completely.
There's no in part 8.
That's right. See, I'm like kind of virginal when it comes to that movie. There's a lot that I don't know about it. Like, I feel like this one and, Jason Goes to Hell are the ones I know the most about, but I've been learning a lot by watching these films with you.
I'm looking forward to talking about Jason Takes Manhattan next month.
I am looking forward to watching it again.
It is my favorite of the 10.
I know it is.
So, but like you, that may change after I see it again. So who knows?
You never know.
Who knows? But I was very surprised that they used Harry Manfredini's source music. Like they used, I forget what they call it, but library cues is what they call it. Library cues of his score from the past movies.
Yeah, like the like I mean, that was a terrible impression, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, like just certain hysterical things. Yeah,
with the
as well.
But it was also a little bit different. The classic ma ma ma. I don't.
Yeah.
I hate
but you know
over
what? I will say that there were certain musical entries, I guess, that I did like when she was using her telekinesis, but it sounded like it belonged in like a Christmas movie, like with killer elves or something.
I can see that.
You know what I mean? Okay, it sounded like different versions of the Exorcist theme.
But when the opening credits were playing, I gotta say, I at first was impressed because I was sitting there thinking, oh, Harry Manfredini actually went even further and came up with a new theme for this movie because he has created themes for each movie. I think part 5 being one of my favorite, new themes. Yeah. But,
yeah, and the opening of this is solid. The opening is really it's fine. I know it's like a montage, but I love the narration and I love the music that goes with it. It's fine.
And the montage is not too long.
It's not. It's very abbreviated in comparison to the other ones. Yeah.
I think it's only like 2 minutes, if I remember.
Oh, it's very short. Yeah.
So now I have a couple of issues beyond what you said, beyond editing, music. And I was very thankful to hear that one of my biggest issues, and I know this is an issue with many Friday the 13th fans, is also an issue with the director, John Carl Buechler. And that is the ending. Father coming out of the lake, just looking like a man coming out of the lake, not aged.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you know about this, right? Do you know the whole...
Well, I know that there was multiple endings shot with different stages of makeup, like different stages of decay. And why they used this one, I'm not sure. But I know that Buechler was on record saying that like his production assistant or someone said
producer
that's who it was, said that they weren't able to shoot the day that they used like the best makeup and like the best zombie effects of stuff like decayed dead dad, but lo and behold, it's on the deleted scenes.
Is it?
You can see it in the deleted scenes. They have like all 3 of like the scenes that weren't used.
Interesting, because in the commentary or I think in the behind the scenes, one of the two, Buechler was saying that Zombie Dad was never even allowed to shoot because the associate producer said it didn't look good enough.
And that's what because I watched all the deleted scenes and stuff first, and then when I was watching, wait, I think I was saying this backwards. I watched the deleted scenes first, and then I watched the making, is what I'm trying to say. And then in the making, he had said that. And so I was like, wait, I'm so confused. Because in the deleted scenes, I'm pretty sure, unless it's just him like in like a certain state of decay, and there's like a much more gruesome version of him that they were leading up to. Maybe I misunderstood. But if you go back and look at the deleted scenes, it seems pretty gruesome to me.
Okay. Because, yeah, I would have been happier with a zombie dad looking guy.
Or nothing at all. Like, you didn't even have to have that. Like, it's bad. It's really bad, though.
Yeah, I get the nothing at all. But the one thing, and here's I'm gonna jump outside of these movies for a second. Did you watch? You obviously watched the newer short film, right? The Jason Universe short film.
I want to say I did. The one that just came out this last year.
Yeah.
I want to say yes.
Okay, so Andrew and I did a Patreon episode, a short episode just talking about it. One of the cool things that short film introduced was the idea that if somebody dies in Crystal Lake, there's something with the lake that resurrects them as undead. And that's why Jason has continually come back.
I think I know of the idea of this. Like, I think I saw the trailer, like a short trailer for this, but I don't think I actually saw the whole thing.
So that was kind of a retcon type thing, but it also
it's cool.
Makes some of the aspects of these movies, in my opinion, better. Because in the case of her dad, yeah, he did sit underneath the lake for, so many years. Then she was able to use her powers to bring him back at the right time. But the idea is that the lake is what made him undead. And he just kind of, the stupid part then is just that he sat there for so long without doing anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they could have done with the lake itself.
Yeah.
And that's not one of them. Like what they did with the dad.
My other big quibble, and this is just a retrospective quibble, watching the special features and the commentary and whatnot on these movies, we just keep hearing the same story over and over. And that is that the kills that they shot were so much bloodier, so much better looking, but the MPAA just took a hatchet job to the movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous because even in the commentary, I think John Buechler says that in today's movies, they wouldn't even think twice about the stuff that they have in these movies.
Oh my goodness. Like today's standards are, there's no moral value when it comes to what they will show on, like, even in a theater, because I mean, we have to remember that Terrifier 3 is something that we all saw in the theater. Like, I know you saw it. I saw it in the theater as well.
Yeah.
And even that's like not the most graphic thing that I've seen anymore these days. Like there's a lot. I mean, it's pretty bad, but
it's pretty graphic in a theater.
For the theater, yes, but there's like worse out there,
Sure, of course.
And but like
we do one of those movies every year on
you do
in April.
Yes, this is true. I listened to that episode. This is true.
Yes, you do. Everybody does.
Yeah, everybody does. But it's a shame because the special effects that they use in most of these movies are really good. Like, it's like really good prosthetics and it's like old school special effects, but like you do get some aftermath and you do get a couple glimpses here and there that are okay, but it's really it's not the same. And it's funny because it's like that, what is it, the Mandela effect? Is that what it's called?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. I forget what the Mandela effect is.
Some sort of effect where you think you remember something a certain way. I remember this movie being real bloody when I was a kid or a teenager even. And now it's just like, like there's
I
no
see what
blood.
you're saying.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
weird.
it's kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original.
Exactly. And then, but now it's funny with that one, I go back and if you, especially in like a 4K restoration, you see a lot more blood in that movie if you pay attention. Like there's like you see splatter and you see
but the
like,
movie feels gorier than it actually is, and everybody constantly talks about that with Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think people see these movies and they're like, this movie's not nearly as bloody as it could be.
Yeah.
And so it makes me wish one of two things. My mind always goes down this path. Number one, I kind of wish that, like we've seen with a couple other movies that all of these movies would be remade almost shot for shot, except with the deaths as gory and bloody as they should be.
Sure.
Number 2, this is something I will never get, obviously, because otherwise we'd have it on these Blu-rays. I wish that the footage of these kills was in better condition so that they could give us a really nice-looking restoration that has these gory, bloody kills in the movies.
It's very convenient that it's the good movies that this footage has always been lost in some sort of fire, you know?
Yeah, and we have the footage. It's on these Blu-rays, but it's
just
super
terrible.
grainy and dark, and
Yeah.
you can barely see it. So I'm like, man, you can't restore that any more than that, and that's really sad. So
And there has to be a way. You know, there's got to be a way. There has to be.
I don't know. I think they've done it as pretty much as well as they can, but who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My other issue with this movie is kind of that it does the same thing that I believe 6 did, where it just feels like a shorter movie that was padded out a little bit. And I think with 6, it felt like Jason and the final girl, I forget her name in 6, but I feel like in that movie, they just kept going back and forth from cabin to cabin.
Jennifer.
Jennifer? Wow,
Yeah, I think it was Jennifer.
You're good.
I think.
Okay, you might be wrong.
I might be wrong.
But, you know, they go back and forth, and it just felt like that was how they padded out this movie. This movie, I just felt like there were so many kids in this movie that is how they padded it out. Like, oh, hey, let's have these two in the forest, and Jason will, even though he was at the cabins, now he's going to be in the forest. And
Yeah, I agree. And I wish that there would have been more with the doctor. I wish there would have been more with the Dr. Cruz stuff. I kind of feel like that stuff was a little bit more interesting because that's like, I understand it's a Friday the 13th movie, but they saved all that stuff for the end. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get any of the real carnage and blood and body count until like the last 20 minutes of the movie, really. Like, nothing really happens until the last 20 minutes. And then like those elongated like stock scenes, I'm not going to call them chase scenes, because like that scene with Maddie, for instance, the girl,
Yeah.
the touch up work my ass. God,
oh my God, poor
like,
girl.
Really though, like, and it's sad. And what annoys me about that is they delete a scene that she puts on the makeup and then she goes out the door, and then in the theatrical version, like in the one we get, she is then seen going outside just looking for the David character. She's looking for him so she can like go get high with him or whatever. But in the real version, she leaves the room and then goes and finds her friend, the girl that told her she needs makeup work or whatever, and then the guy, and then they actually get stoned, and then they leave her, and then that's why she's going outside to look for them. You know, so like it makes more sense that way. Like, they could have left that little tiny piece in, because it doesn't make any sense why she's going outside to look for him when he's like, why would he be outside in the freaking forest? Like, you know, and like, so they have this whole like 4 minutes of her just wandering around in the woods looking for her earring. And that whole segment is like 7 minutes long.
I didn't think that it didn't make sense. I just thought it was just sad because she did all this work to put on all this makeup and not a single person saw her before Jason killed her.
Well, 2 people did see her and then they abandoned her.
Is that on the Blu-ray?
It is.
Okay. I didn't watch every single little extra, and I should have.
I'm ashamed of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I should feel shame.
But I also didn't watch the commentary, so it's fine.
Oh, I did. So
I
there
know you
go.
did. Yeah.
And it was, I got maybe 2 things from that commentary. It was cool because in the commentary they have basically 2 commentaries mixed together, because they had John Buechler and Kane Hodder talking to each other, and you could tell Kane was on Zoom or something like that. And then they had Lar Park Lincoln doing her own commentary, but they mixed them in together. She wasn't talking to the other 2.
Oh, interesting.
So
That's interesting. She died recently, didn't she?
April 22nd of last year.
Wow. Yeah, she passed. That's sad.
Yeah, it's really sad after watching this because she was actually really good. I liked her in this.
She is a very decent actress. I don't think I've ever seen her in anything else, if I'm being honest. But in this, I think it's a very memorable performance.
Absolutely. I think she
so.
was one of the better final girls, in my opinion,
I agree.
in the Friday the 13th movies. I think she was enjoyable to watch, and not just because of her telekinesis, although that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I've never met anybody with telekinesis, but I believed it.
I'm sure that's what it would be like.
Yeah, kind of struggling with your face,
throwing
a lot.
TVs at people.
Yes, I liked that part a lot.
And making them look like the TV's just on a string.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
So what did you think of that? I think before you tell me, I think back in the day people were disappointed. People thought that this was the movie where Friday the 13th really started jumping the shark. Like, we're out of ideas, so let's throw a girl with telekinesis at Jason.
Which is interesting because they also thought that if this one succeeded, that they were going to utilize this Tina character more and use her in more sequels.
The producers, but not the audience. I'm talking about
they totally
audiences.
tanked, yeah. But the movie tanked. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Look at the trajectory of Friday the 13th movies, because you build up to this beautiful crescendo with Part 6, which arguably is one of the better, more well-made of the movies.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
And then it's like, okay, what else can we do with Jason? And then they have this movie, which is kind of in between Jason Takes Manhattan and Jason Lives.
Right.
They're like, let's try something new, but
you have to take like a bold choice at the same time. You have to do something different, and you also have to take a risk. But they also stole something from, that's already been done, which is the Carrie thing.
Yeah.
And
but that was on purpose. It wasn't. It was more of a inspiration.
It was, yeah. But I mean, there's really not a lot you can do anymore with this kind of storyline,
But
unless
Stanley,
you want to send them to space.
Yeah, Stanley, you're wrong, because you can also send Jason to New York.
That's where he's headed next.
You can send Jason to hell.
I'm going to be very clear. He never goes to hell. Spoilers. Everyone. Damn it.
But then he goes to space. So
he does.
They do the thing where instead of pulling back on the ridiculousness, they leaned into it, which
they did. Yes, they do eventually lean into it. And I think I don't think they were trying to necessarily with this one. I think they were kind of in the last one. I think the last one they were kind of poking a little bit of fun at like the meta-ness and like, the monster movie type of stuff. I think they not like heavily, I think just like a little bit. But this one, I think they were really trying to take it seriously. Yeah. And maybe if they were trying to have a little bit more fun with it, maybe it might have fared better for it. But I think that's also where, in my opinion, the next one kind of does the same thing. If it would have taken itself a little less seriously, it might have fared better.
We'll see next month. Oh my
God, it's coming up so quick. I can't believe it.
In my opinion, Stanley, so far at least, because I don't really remember the next three yet, but this is absolutely my favorite Jason.
Oh, 100%.
I didn't realize... I'm relearning all these things that I kind of passively knew about the Friday the 13th series.
Yes.
But as we go through these movies, I think you mentioned the same thing earlier. I'm really learning a lot about these movies. And one of those was that I did not remember that this was Kane Hodder's first role as Jason.
Oh, yeah.
And I started this movie wondering how much I'd be able to tell a difference, and oh my God, I did tell a difference, like almost right away. He is so menacing, and the way he moves and walks is so good.
He's big. He's like a giant, and it's like the previous Jason, but on steroids. Because I do like the previous Jason, C.J. Graham. I think up until this, he was my favorite Jason, and then the one from part 3, I think, was my favorite Jason. Anyway, but this one is the first of like like we get monster movie Jason from this point. Like I think this is like monster movie Jason, and you have like the exposed spine, and you have like all like the gruesome affects. And like before this though, it was just like a man in a mask. Like you just had like a man running around in a mask, and Jason's not running anymore. Like he's not like he's like legit zombie mode. And
well, he was barely running in the other movies too, though.
I feel like he was like at full sprint at one point.
Well, maybe in I think 6, maybe in one part of it, but he still walked a lot.
I remember him jogging. No, maybe
jogging briskly.
He was wearing a Fitbit.
So when I think back to the other movies, they were good Jasons. Like some of the actors played Jason better than others, but at the same time, they were all just Jason.
Yeah.
This is the first movie where I actually noticed how good the actor was as Jason. Like where I was like, this Jason is this feels so different from others.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to be objective and not be aware of the fact that I know that it's Kane Hodder this time, and Kane Hodder is, super popular. I looked at it and I noticed differences right away in the way he moved and the way he turned towards people and stuff. And especially when the mask comes off at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got the rubber cool looking mask. He went to great lengths to move his jaw to make it look like Jason's just like,
Oh, sure. And I love the part where he is set on fire. Like that part I think is so wonderful. And I think there's he set some sort of record too for being, I think, the first stunt person and maybe the only stunt person to hold the record for being set on fire for the longest amount of time.
I know he didn't use a air tank. Like most stunt performers, when they get caught on fire, they have a oxygen thing, so they're breathing oxygen underneath. But Kane Hodder said that it made him feel restricted, but doing enough fire stunts like that taught him when he was able to breathe while doing that stuff. So, and he pointed it out during the commentary. There's the part where Jason's falling over and there's no fire in front of him, and Kane goes, like, right there. See, right there. And I was like, oh, man, that's cool. That's so cool.
That is really neat.
Have you ever met him?
I have. I was just about to say it. When I worked over in Calabasas, he would come in probably like twice a week and do happy hour over in the bar. And he's like one of the nicest people I've ever met. And he would come in with his wife and 2 kids. And he's like legit covered in like so many scars. And a lot of them are like burn scars.
Wow.
He's like Freddy Krueger.
It sounded like he's a really nice guy. And that's why I wanted to ask you that, because
so nice.
I was hoping that it wasn't just a persona on the commentary, that he was really that nice a guy, and he seems like it. So I'm a much bigger Kane Hodder fan today than I was a week ago.
100%. And I have passed him at a Monsterpalooza convention, and I've shaken his hand and just kept walking. And like, it feels really good to not have to pay $100 and like wait in a line, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And not have to take a picture with someone. Just be like, all right, see you next week. Like that. Yeah. That's always a nice
see
thing.
You next week.
And he might call me Steven or Simon or something like that, but I'll take it. It's fine. You don't have to remember my name.
Even if he doesn't get the first letter right.
Totally fine. You can call me Ronald. You can call me Suzanne. I don't care.
One other thing I wanted to mention about Jason that I don't know if you thought about or if it registered in your head, but there is a moment in this movie, and it's the first Jason moment that's made me think of that movie that we both reviewed, In a Violent Nature.
Oh.
There is a moment where the camera is behind Jason as he's just steadily walking through the woods for a moment. And, it doesn't go on as long as In a Violent Nature, but I was sitting there looking at that shot in particular, wondering if that was an inspiration. I mean, we know that Jason and Friday the 13th was the inspiration for In a Violent Nature, but I was wondering if that scene in particular was a big inspiration for the walking stuff.
Well, I actually had mentioned the same exact film while I was watching it with Alex the last time, with the part with the girl skinny dipping while she's waiting for Russell, and she's
Okay.
and then she goes down, she comes back up, and then Russell's dead, and then he appears next to her in the water, because that reminded me of In a Violent Nature.
Oh wow. So I wonder if this movie was maybe the biggest influence for In a Violent Nature of all
Maybe
the Friday
so.
the 13th.
Yeah, because and there's another part where she being Tina is running through the woods. There's a whole plethora of parts where that's happening, but she comes across Jason, and then he is just passing her, and then she just stops and lets him pass, and that also kind of reminded me of it when the final girl in A Violent Nature. There's a very similar scene in that. I like that movie. I think that movie is real good.
I loved that movie.
Yeah, I think it's a real good movie.
But hey, everybody, you can go back and listen to our Fun with Horror episode on In a Violent Nature. And as a bonus, you can also go find the Gory Gaze episode on In a Violent Nature. Holy crap. So,
like a double whammy.
I remembered something else I didn't care for in this movie.
Hit me.
How they treated the dad.
Okay.
I'm sure, this was the 80s. This was 88. Things were different back then, but this guy was a wife abuser. I just hate the fact that he comes out. And how old is little Tina? How old do you think she is?
I want to say she's like 8 or 9. She can't be older than 10.
So he comes out and she's mad because he's been beating on her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And she collapses the pier. And as she's collapsing it, she's like, "Daddy, no!" Like she realizes what she's done. And I'm just like, okay, but he was beating your mom. Maybe, does he deserve to die? Yes, but that's just me.
I think it's such a quick cut. It's an awkward quick cut to her. Like, it doesn't give her enough time to react. I don't think. Yeah, if there was like a little bit more time for her to like have the reaction and like the time to, I think it would have been a little nice. But
then
I know what you mean though.
How old do you think adult Tina is?
I think all of the people in these movies that are young are supposed to be between like graduating high school and like early college age. So I would say between 18 and 20.
So in that amount of time, I mean, this is a stupid movie. It's not supposed to be super intelligent, but it still bugs me that Tina is with her mom and she's like, "Oh, Mom, I just miss him so much." And I'm like, why? Why do you miss him? You barely knew him. He beat on your mom. Your mom is even sitting there going, "I miss him too." And it's like, he was a wife beater. I don't know.
No, it is a very good point, though. I mean, they just have to have some sort of arc for some of these characters. And I say arc in air quotations because there's not a lot of like emotional padding for them. So they have to like give them something. If there's not extended room for these chase scenes or like a girl like walking around looking for something in a dark room, which is what happens with, Maddie's friend, whose name I can't even remember. They have to have random dialogue that doesn't really need to be there. Like, we don't care about any of that stuff at the end of the day, but you do have a good point.
But the movie even brings him back at the end as the hero of the movie. And I'm like, he hit his wife. Why is he the hero? I think in a more intelligent movie, I mean, how awesome would it be if you took this movie and you had Tina struggling with guilt over killing her father, but also knowing that he was not a good person and battling that within herself. And that was part of what drove her, trying to figure out whether it was the right thing to do to get so mad that she killed him,
See, that's the Oscar movie that the producer wanted, Barbara Sachs. That's the one that she was aiming to make. And then the other producers were like, "Lady, this is a Friday the 13th movie. It's actually not called Birthday Bash."
Although I think the lady might be also the one that poo-pooed the idea of zombie Jason, that said he didn't look good.
That lady's a dick.
Oh my God.
Oh, sorry. I just don't like her.
back to the music, because I'm just looking through a few notes here. Did the opening theme remind you of the Terminator at all?
I'm going to be very honest with you. I've never seen the original Terminator. I've only seen T2.
Okay, moving on. So
I'm the worst. I've seen it like every other James Cameron movie aside from the last two Avatars, or maybe there's 3 of them. I don't know.
you're not the worst.
Okay.
What that means is that you have something good to look forward to.
I've been watching a lot of movies lately, so I might
I get
just watch
excited.
it.
Like, you haven't seen the first Terminator. I am excited that you get to watch that for the first time at some point.
I am a Linda Hamilton fan.
Ooh, there you go. Sandra is the nude girl in the water.
Oh, yes.
Funny enough, they didn't mention it on the commentary or anything, but holy crap, that was a total Jaws homage, wasn't it?
I did admire how clear the camera work was. And yes, it was totally a Jaws homage. Totally. Like right down to like the way that he was like kind of taking his shirt off for a second. It was very similar.
Mainly, I'm talking about the shots from under the water at the naked girl.
Sorry, that was a gay thing.
Oh, no, that's okay. You noticed the guy. I noticed the girl.
But yes, no, you're very right. You're very right. And you know what? That girl kind of looks like the woman from Jaws.
Maybe.
Okay, fine. Maybe not.
I just remember as a kid watching Jaws, I always noticed how it's so dark under the water that she's naked and you only get tiny glimpses. As a kid, I was always looking for those tiny glimpses, as a little boy.
Oh, we all were. Yeah.
And then in this one, it's all there. There's no darkness. There's no imagination whatsoever.
What they don't show us in blood, they will absolutely show us in nudity in these movies.
But he does take his shirt off.
He does. He does. He opens it.
Did you think Nick was a handsome guy?
You know what? When I was younger, I think that was probably one of my appeals to this movie, because I would watch this on HBO all the time. Like, it was on late at night when I was probably between the ages of like 8 and 11, and it would play on repeat. This one and like a lot of the Nightmare movies would always play on this and Cinemax. Yeah, I would say that he was probably like an early, like, oh my goodness. And weirdly enough, in like 97 or 98, he was in one of those softcore porn films called Striking Resemblance, where he's like half naked the entire time. And I definitely recorded that onto a VHS as a young gay Stanny.
There you go.
Yeah.
Him and Lar Park.
And he was on Days of Our Lives. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, I saw that. I saw that on IMDb.
And my mom loved that show. Yeah, she loved it. And he was a terrible guy on Days of Our Lives for the whole 74 years he was on it.
In the commentary, it's really nice because, first of all, Lar Park Lincoln, I love her now because this commentary was so sweet. She was so excited about this movie and to talk about this movie. She loved horror movies. She loved being in a horror movie. She loved going to conventions. And it's a really sweet commentary, and I loved her. But she also talked about how her and Kevin, the guy that plays Nick, stayed friends throughout their lives. And yeah, they remained friends. And then he actually, I think he was a judge at her daughter's gymnastics, something or other, or something. They talked, and it was just like, they were just still friends. And it was just so cool to like connect with them and stuff. And they'd see each other at conventions. But the other thing is, I think she had a little bit of a crush on him back in the day because she did keep talking about how beautiful and handsome he was.
I completely agree.
So,
and he was also before this, he was in The Hills Have Eyes Part 2, directed by Wes Craven. So he also exists in the Freddy Krueger universe. Not in the Nightmare on Elm Street universe, obviously, but in the Wes Craven universe is what I mean.
Wow.
So
I did not know that.
Yeah.
She was also asked to return for Part 8 at one point, but at that time, they did not have a script, and she didn't want to agree to something that she had no idea. Like, she said, I didn't want to say yes to something and just die in the opening scene,
And they should have just said yes. You just say yes.
But then we wouldn't have that masterpiece that is Jason Takes Manhattan.
But she could have died in the opening scene in the boat
That's true.
with that guy with no name.
Let's see what else. I got little notes, man. I got little notes.
I love little notes.
Who are the two? It's Maddie and her friend. Maddie's the one that gets the makeover.
Yes, but I can't remember her friend's name for the life of me. Hold on. I'm going to find out.
No, not Melissa. Melissa's the stuck-up woman. Robin.
That's true.
Robin.
Yes.
So Robin and Maddie, I like the fact that it just seems futile.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a thought, Stanley. I'm just going
What's
off.
that?
I'm going
Please
off here.
do.
Okay, back to my original note. I like the fact that Robin gets with David. Maddie has her sad makeover moment and then dies to Jason.
Dies to Jason.
But before David dies, his last word is Maddie.
Oh.
But now it makes sense even more because of the deleted scene that you told me about.
Yeah, it does actually. And I didn't even consider that either. That whole thing reminded me of Halloween.
Yes, and
The
it's
original
got
Halloween.
it's got my favorite moment in this entire movie.
Which part?
The part where David leaves the bedroom after making sweet, sweet love to Robin.
Yes.
He goes into the kitchen and there is a lightning flash and Jason is standing in the corner and you only see him for a second.
Okay.
I thought that was amazing and so out of character for these movies to have such a cool shot.
Yeah, there is some cool imagery in blink and you miss it moments here and there, especially in Jason Goes to Hell.
Okay, well, we're not there yet, Stanley.
I know, it's not until 2029.
No, that's this year.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, I forgot. We already talked about this.
Yes,
that was
we did.
November. November, it's so far.
We might make it. We might make it.
We will.
And we might be a different country by that time.
Oh, God, I don't know.
We'll see.
I'm gonna manifest.
Me too, believe me. I liked the joke of the personal penis enlarger being just a magnifying glass.
Funny you say that because I chuckled as well, and Alex and I talked about it as well while we were watching it.
What did you think of Eddie's head being in the planter and then Tina psychically throwing that planter with his head in it at Jason?
Oh, it's great. It's great.
But did you get the pun of that?
Eddie giving Jason head?
No.
Oh.
John Buechler said it in the commentary, and when he said it, I was like, oh, of course. He says, pothead.
Oh, of course. Oh, my goodness. That's actually really funny. That's funny. I didn't understand that at all. That went right over my head.
I also love Jason's jawbone and teeth, man.
The prosthetics that are so good. That's
Yes.
John Buechler is also a special effects artist, and I feel like he did the special effects on this as well, didn't he? Or he contributed.
I don't know. He might have.
Yeah, he. Do you know that you also have reviewed another John Buechler film on Fun with Horror? Do you know what it is?
Not at the moment.
I know what it is.
What is it?
It's Dolls. A very long time ago. And that's why I feel like he participated in the special effects, because he did all the special effects on that movie and he directed that one too.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I guarantee that Andrew and I said Buechler.
You said Buechler today and I thought it was Buechler. So I've just been saying Buechler because you did.
I learned it was Buechler from the commentary and the bonus features. They all say Buechler and John says Buechler.
Because I may have heard that and still have just wanted to say Buechler until you said Buechler. So I just latched onto whatever you said. I'm a creature of adaptation.
Buechler.
Buechler.
Buechler. Ferris Buechler. Get it? It's a Ferris Bueller joke.
Of course.
Okay. Do you have anything else? Do you have any other notes, or do you want to get on to the 3 questions, Stanley?
I'm trying to think. There was something that I wanted to. And maybe it's in all these movies. The moonlight shines so brightly in all of these films to where it could literally be daylight. Am I wrong? Like
You have to.
There is so much moonlight. So much moonlight. And I also wanted to point out, it's more of a question, I suppose. Where is he getting all of these gardening tools?
Okay, you know what? I actually have that written down as well. Now, there is a shed, But the funny thing is that
Okay.
he just suddenly has different tools at different moments, and you don't see him pick them up.
You got a weed eater in the middle of the woods, like
Yeah.
or whatever that thing is called.
Weed whacker.
That's the one. And then out of nowhere, he has like he just has an axe out of. Oh, I mean, I guess it makes sense because of the setting. We're at a cabin in the woods, but there are some weird things that just come up out of nowhere. Really though, but I guess it's a Friday the 13th film, so it's fine.
Yeah, I guess it's fine, right?
It's not far fetched.
By the way, before 3 questions, I just want to say I love your hoodie.
Oh, thank you. I wore it on purpose.
He's wearing a Carrie hoodie, ladies and gentlemen.
It's true. And I want to be clear. I have a Friday the 13th hoodie that Alex bought me with this one, but I thought it was in my car and I was scrambling to find it and I don't know where it is.
And I'm wearing a shirt that I did not wear on purpose, but it just so happens to fit. What is it, Stanley?
That looks like your dog, Mina.
Yeah, it is a
does.
pug staring up at a taco.
At a taco. Yeah.
In space.
It looks amazing.
And Stanley has the most adorable little pug. I think it's a pug mix, right?
I want to say she's a puggle. Like when we were given her on her birthday, she was. We were told that she was a pug, but
okay.
As she's progressed into a tiny nightmare, it looks more like a little puggle.
And I love this dog, and I've never met it. And one day
you will meet her. No, she's a trip, man. Like I will never have children because of this dog. This dog has eliminated that want. If I ever wanted it, I don't think I ever wanted children, but now I do not.
Yeah. Well, Stanley keeps threatening to give her to me, and I'm ready to take her. But
yeah.
I don't think Alex will agree with that.
I don't think he will either, but I don't know. I'm willing to negotiate.
Are you ready for 3 questions?
I can be ready for 3 questions, I suppose.
Who would cross the bridge of death must answer me these questions 3.
Question number 1.
Oh my God.
What did you think was the best kill or death in Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood?
Okay, I'm going to give you 2 because one had blood and one didn't.
Okay, but then you got to pick between the 2.
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, so the one that had blood would be Russell. And I love the axe to the face and how it split it up. And you get kind of a glimpse of the aftermath. I really liked that. And then
wait. Is it an axe or a machete?
Was it a machete?
I think it's his machete.
I thought that the slice was so big and gaping that it was an axe, but maybe it was a machete. It might have been a machete.
I wrote machete uppercut, so
I love that. I'm going to say it was a machete uppercut as well, but the aftermath is really, really gruesome, and it's like this big gaping hole in his face, and it looks really awesome. And in the deleted scene, you get to see the whole thing. Like it's real cool. So I really, really like that one. And then I think just like the viciousness of Melissa's death with the axe to the face and just grabbing her and throwing her over the television into the corner is really just like, it's just so mean. Like this is just such a mean Jason. So between those two, oh man, I'm going to say Melissa.
Because she deserved it more.
She really deserved it. What a bitch, man. Melissa was so mean. And this is like, I feel like she's like the token slut, right? This is like the girl who's like the slut of the movie, and she doesn't take her clothes off.
I don't know that she's that. I don't think she's more of the homecoming queen. And
I don't like
she
her.
She does sleep with the one guy, or starts to. They never do it.
You're right.
But she tries to sleep with the one guy because she has some misguided notion that it will make Nick jealous, which she has no chance.
She's delusional.
Like any character like this, everybody was talking about how nice she was on set. So,
oh, I'm sure. Funny story, real quick. There was this big thing where everyone thought she died of cancer. They like had looked her up to invite her to a convention, and they were like, "Oh, she's dead. She died of cancer." Turns out she's alive.
Wow.
Scotty, what is your favorite kill?
I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to go with the classic, the one that so many people have talked about because it's the most memorable kill in almost all the movies, I think. And it's the sleeping bag kill.
How could I have forgotten this?
Such a classic that
It's
they
so
repeat
good.
it later in another movie that we'll talk about at some point.
That one's way in the future. In all pun intended.
Yes.
Yes.
All pun intended.
All
But
pun
yeah,
intended.
I love that kill. Even though there's no blood, I actually heard the stories of behind the scenes where Kane was talking about how heavy that sleeping bag was because there was a fake body plus gallons of fake blood in the original shot of it.
Yeah.
So
There was originally 3 big bashes, I think, that were filmed.
yes.
Right? And like the like explosions of blood that were coming out of that thing. That's pretty bad. That's a bad one. See, it's vicious. Like he's really vicious in this. And I wish that they would have just kept some of that stuff.
Real quick, going back to Melissa, the actress who played her, Susan Jennifer Sullivan. Did you know that her lines right before she dies, where she basically tells Nick and Tina, F you?
Yeah.
She says, F you, F you. That was improv during her audition, and that's how she got the part.
I love that. I love that. I love a mean girl. And then I love it when a mean girl gets slaughtered in one of these movies.
Question number 2. Did you think this movie was scary?
No, not today. Not the last 2 times. I mean, I jump every now and then, and no matter what movie I watch, there's always like some sort of effective jump scare. This time I think it was the cat. Like the cat kind of made me jump the last time. The cat that jumps out at Robin. Oh, and I think when the arms punch out through the wood with Maddie, I think that might have got me as well. But no, it's not like a scary film. These movies are not scary. I think the only scary one was part 1. if it's scary. I think the idea, the concept with like the whole Mrs. Voorhees thing, that stuff is scary. The 1950s camp stuff is scary. But none of this stuff is scary anymore. It's not.
I still think part 2 is the scariest, probably because of Hooded Jason.
That's also spooky. Yeah.
But I do think if I can imagine any other movie being scary, I think this is a good one with how imposing Kane Hodder is as Jason, and also the whole spine and jawbone showing and stuff.
I think he's scary. Yeah.
So I don't think it's scary at all. I would doubt that anybody would be scared of it these days. But as always, everybody listening, leave us a comment. If you ever thought this movie was scary, please let us know, because I love knowing that certain movies scared people.
100%.
Finally, Stanley, question number 3. Did you have fun with horror?
I did. I always have fun with horror. I think I will probably always have fun with horror.
Well, I hope so. But
I mean, that's all.
So you think this movie's fun?
Yeah. I mean, I think all these movies are fun. Like they're stupid and they're silly and they're mostly bloody and they're very predictable and they're just fun. They're a really easy way to kill an hour and 30 minutes. And like you can get up and walk away and you haven't missed anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're not like art house cinema and there's not like a lot to them. They always equal really good conversation regardless. Like it's always a good time.
I agree. And I'm going to say the same thing. I had fun with horror watching this movie again. That said, what comes next?
Tina, look at me. See this matchbook? I'm going to set it on the desk here. I want you to concentrate. I want you to think about your feelings and just focus them in on the matchbook. Maybe we can get it to move.
Well, Stanley, the sun has gone down. It's nighttime now. We've talked about Friday the 13th, Part 7. But as we've kind of mentioned, we have 3 Friday the 13ths in 2026. So when is our next one?
The next one is going to be March the 13th.
That's 1 month from now.
Literally 30 days. Well, I don't even know if it's 30 days because there's not a 29th or a 30th in February, is there?
That's correct. It is not a leap year.
Nope. Not this one.
So, yeah, and that means that we are finally getting to the movie that I have called many times my favorite Friday the 13th of the original 10.
Of the original 10.
basically we have like 5 more Jason movies, and then we got to figure out what the hell to do on Friday the 13th. But that's like years away still. But anyway.
Do the TV series.
Oh God.
I know. I don't know about that. That was a joke. Maybe we can do Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Well, that's coming in March. For everybody else listening to Fun with Horror, the Tuesday after this episode releases, Andrew and I are back with episode number 178, and we are discussing Shelby Oaks.
Yes.
So, Stanley, did you see it?
I did.
Without spoilers or anything, did you like it? What did you
Loved
think?
it. Loved it.
I
loved it.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, I thought it was real good. Real good. I thought it was a scary movie.
That's fantastic. Okay, so that's Tuesday, everybody. If this is past that Tuesday, then you have the episode waiting for you on wherever you listen to podcasts. So, Stanley, do you have anything coming up? You have The Unknown coming up, don't you?
Do I have anything coming up? You know what? No. I think if we do end up having an episode coming out in the forthcoming future, it will be Scream related. And that's really all I have, honestly. Like, we're just kind of like recovering from the winter. And I mean, and I say winter because, believe it or not, it got cold here. Things got dark and cold here. And I mean that in like every sense.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been fun. But yeah, I've just been working a lot. So it's hard to find time to do much of anything outside of make ice cream and eat ice cream and sleep.
I tell you, it's been hot in LA, but by the time this episode comes out, we will have had maybe a week, a little bit less of nice cold temperatures again, which I love. I love LA in the cold. So
yeah, I complain about the cold right now, but I will be complaining more so in the next few weeks once the heat starts kicking back in. So
absolutely. So I've seen you in your home in the heat, and you don't love it.
No, like by this time I would be dripping sweat and probably passing out from exhaustion and afraid to get up to go get some water. It gets weird.
Well, everybody who wants to get weird with Stanley, if you haven't yet, go onto your podcast, whatever provider of choice, and subscribe to the Gory Gaze.
Hell yeah.
Even though they're not putting out episodes at the moment, there's a lot of back episodes to listen to, and it's an absolute joy.
That's nice of you.
Well, it's true of me. So
it is true of you. We're a lot of fun.
Yeah. I love listening to the Gory Gaze. So
thank you.
It's why you're here. Anyway, Stanley, until next month, I love you.
I love you, and I'm really excited that it's next month. I'm excited that it's very soon.
Me too. I can't
Good.
wait. And especially can't say it out loud because it might not happen, but just in case it does happen, the tentative plans that we have for it is exciting. So
I'm very stoked.
Everybody, thank you for listening to Fun with Horror. We love you. I love you. Stanley loves you. Andrew even loves you.
Andrew loves you as well.
So everybody, oh, you know what? Alex loves you too. Alex isn't
that's
here.
what I meant. I said Andrew.
You said Andrew. You meant to say Alex.
I did mean to say Alex.
Stanley's partner and the other host of Gory Gaze.
That's the one.
Alex is wonderful. He's been on before. Anyway, everybody, have a great week. Have a great month. Have a great Friday the 13th.
Bon voyage.
I'm hungry.
How romantic. I'm really stoned.
The Neanderthal man, hunter-gatherer, seeks nourishment.